Okay, Rob asks, how can we decide the price of our service? That's an amazing question. Pricing. How can we decide how can we decide the price of our service? That's a Periscope question that just came in. Very good question. So there's a few things that that you need to take, in consideration. Number one is you need to have a look at what the competition is doing. And I hate answering with that answer, but it's the truth. You need to see what's out there, because you need to see if someone has already taken the position of the high-end and expensive and Ferrari position in that marketplace. If people are actually, if someone's already positioned as the most expensive value and service provider in the market, or if the market is more of an average to mid to low priced market. And that's a big thing. So first thing, you need to do your research, kind of see what's out there and understand who's positioned how, and having a look at who's positioned at the high end and what they do and what they've done, what kind of brand they've built to be positioned at that level, and then what the cheap end of the market does, and how not to position yourself as them, because I always talk about, you always want to be the Ferrari, the Bentley, like the high end, own the high end market rather than competing on price. So first of all, never compete on price. Never price your product because you think that people won't have the money to pay. Okay, I always talk about this, about in any marketplace, there's always going to be people who are going to fly private and have a private jet, and there's always going to be people who are going to fly EasyJet. So in Europe, we have this low-cost company called EasyJet, and you can fly literally for like $20. So both ends of the market work, but being positioned as the high-end solution is always more attractive. You make more money, you work less because you don't need as many clients, and it's just more attractive. So that's number two thing. Number one, have a look at what the competition is doing. Number two, always try to take the most, like the high value, high priced position in the marketplace. Then for the pricing, it all depends on what service you actually provide. Meaning, if you are a service provider that solves big problems, if you can walk into a company and say, okay, I can save 5% or 10% and make you 10% more on the bottom line just by restructuring, your employees, trimming kind of the fat, that's a huge value proposition, because for the right client, that can mean millions or even tens of millions of dollars in more money, in revenue, in profits. So if you can deliver a product, so a service that really has a high value, you can directly price your services at a much higher rate. That's why being a bottom line consultant and charging on an hourly rate is stupid. You really want to go after demographics. And Rob, if you want to tell me kind of like what market you're in, I can give you even a more specific answer. But that's number one thing. You need to see kind of like what results do you provide to your clients? How much of a transformation is that in their lives for them? I'll give you an example. If you're in the health market and you're helping people lose weight, you can price yourself selling $50 an hour, personal training sessions and nutritional advice, or you can say, I only want to work with 5 people a year, but my fee is $20,000 or $50,000. And in that package, you actually follow and you service the client for 12 months. So the value proposition is very different. For the right person, paying $5,000 a month for someone who has money is nothing. It's a drop in the ocean for some people. For other people, it's everything they make in a year, right? So first you need to kind of like position yourself, decide on where you want to be positioned in the market. I always recommend to go high end because that's where you're going to get the highest quality clients. And the number two thing is to see what's the result that you provide people with. How much of a transformation do you give into their lives, and how much is that worth for them? Okay. For example, let's go back to the health example. If you're actually helping your clients lose, I don't know, 20 kilos a year, so about 50 pounds. If they've spent thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in, in pills, or in, get thin quick solutions, and they've already wasted all that money without having results, you know that they have the money to invest, and that they are a buyer, that they are committed to losing weight. So if someone's already spent $10,000 on a solution or solutions that don't work, if you come up and you offer a product that's superior and actually gets the results for $10,000 for the same amount or even double, some people will be happy to pay that because they know that they'll get the answer. They know that they'll get the results. So you really need to work on a value-based proposition. What's the end result that you can provide your clients with, and charge based on the result and not based on the work you do. Because the faster you can get someone from A to B, the more you should charge, right? Clients don't want to be in pain for months and years. They want to get their solution, their issues solved ASAP. So the faster you can get someone from A to B, the more you should charge. So that's kind of my answer, Rob. If you have any more questions about more specifically, just type them in Periscope. But that's kind of the question on how to price. So really go after, assume the high-end position, do everything you can. To assume the high-end position, you generally need to become an authority, meaning publishing, meaning writing a book, meaning doing video shows, putting on a lot of content out to prove that you have the goods. And then you actually need to see what kind of results you can get for people, and then charge based on the results you get and not based on the work you do. Because if I walk into a company, in one day I can generally increase the company's income by 10-20%, sometimes even more. So it would be stupid to charge on an hourly rate, because I know that the results just on tweaking a few things that I can provide can really transform a company. So why would I charge on an hourly rate? I really want to charge on a result-based rate, meaning I'll charge a very high fee because I know that the impact that I'm having is
Go to MatthiasMazur.com to watch the full episode and connect with Matthias on social media. See the links in the description below.